Hey everybody, this is Daryl, aka the D from the Sibling Trouble Podcast, and tonight it's Disc Golf Chat episode 6 with Todd,
Hey.
aka Sneezy Smurf.
Did I go live?
I think they just missed it, but it was funny from my end.
Right at the moment you pushed live. That was funny.
Well, it's kind of funny because you hit start, then there's a delay. I think you sneezed during that little delay.
Good.
If he sneezed and you guys caught it, leave a comment down below. And, with a simple God bless. There we go. So, Todd, what's been going on? We haven't been on for, 2 weeks now?
Yeah, it's partially my fault getting married and all. So
I don't know how you go throw a disc with a ring on it.
Dude, well, we don't even have rings, so I'm good to
Tattoo
go.
ring.
I told her, no rings, got to play disc golf. No, I didn't say that.
I really hope that's not how it went. Well, it goes on the left hand, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true, too. So
Oh, yeah.
that didn't work. But anyways, yeah, it's been a little busy.
So that's good. That's very good.
Can't believe how many details and stuff you got to think about. These little, we're having a small wedding, like 50 people ish. So,
Man, I wish I could get an invite to that shenanigan.
hope you like pizza.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even have an invite yet.
Oh crap! I forgot about that.
I got a text message invite. It may or may not have been from you. I don't even know.
Well, dang. All right, I'll work that out, man. I'll work it out.
Well, we'll get together one day, hopefully before then. What day is it, by the way? I know it's coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a week from Saturday. Yeah.
So it's next Saturday, not in 2 days. So 9 days.
Right.
Oh.
Yep. Got the ball and chain ready for me.
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna be weighing her down. I've seen her. I've met her. I've chatted with her.
Uh-huh.
You're the heavyweight brother.
Oh no.
Not in a bad way, of course.
I know. Yeah. Gotta lose some weight.
I mean, you did go work out, so
I did get that in for the first time in a couple of weeks. I should be good for a month or so.
All right, so let's talk Disc Golf World Championships 2021 from Utah.
When did that happen?
That did happen.
Yeah, I kept up with it each day, the results each day. But yeah, I was able to watch a few little clips of it here and there. I remember because I had the church convention too this past weekend, so I was in church like all day Saturday and Sunday and Friday evening, and I was like, at times, not all the time, but at times I was not paying attention to the word, and I was kind of like, not all the time.
Can I get an amen from the congregation? Paul, amen. I mean, amen.
Dude.
Yeah, Paul.
And then on that 18th hole, I turned in on it live because we were over, and I went to practice with somebody, some piano stuff, and that's when I saw it live. And nobody around me knows much about disc golf, and they were seeing me freak out about it, and they're like, "Okay, so is that a big deal?"
Man, honestly, I love watching the final rounds live. The entire women's coverage, like they had this week, the entire women's before the men this week, because normally it's after the men, and I was loving it. My back was sore, my backside was sore because I was sitting out for so long straight watching it, but it was worth it.
Yeah, that's the awesome thing now about, because there's a debate about live disc golf versus post coverage, and I think this kind of proves the point of how live disc golf is going to be the future. And
yeah,
we need that. Live sports is so much better.
Yep. So. I will say, normally, on normal circumstances, you can avoid spoilers in disc golf. But like if you were looking at the NCAA national championship game, you're going to find spoilers whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
But in the world championships of disc golf, normally you might be able to avoid them for a day.
Yeah.
But this one little thing happened.
Yeah.
It was on ESPN. It was on all the
That-
news broadcasts.
I wish I knew how many people were trying not to get spoiled by the results,
Mm-hmm.
purposely not getting on social media and then turning on Sports Center and
Yep.
seeing that and getting spoiled that way. I would like to see their reactions. So.
I have a feeling it'll be one of these. Did he really make? Oh, wait a minute. No, I can't watch it.
Yeah, you can't do it. It's just today's world, man. I mean, we're always on social media, and there's so many screens everywhere. Everywhere you go, you're going to have a TV in a restaurant or on your phone or whatever. It's just going to come up somehow. So people got to get used to it.
Yep. But for those who don't know, James Conrad, he tried not to win. He tried not to. When they got to 18, he throws his tee shot. He hits a tree, almost goes into the water. Paul actually shot first, threw one, basically a disc length from being out of bounds.
Yeah.
And at that point, Paul has got to be like par, and it's over with.
Yeah.
You can't think anything other than that in that spot to me. What do you think at that point? Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say at that moment, Paul knows he's in bounds. James Conrad hits the tree. He's just barely outside the water. I mean, what do you think Paul is thinking at that moment?
Oh, he's definitely thinking he's a 6-time world champion.
Mm-hmm.
It's no way, because from that position where Conrad was, the only thing he could really do was lay up to what he did.
Yep.
And try to make it. And Paul's thinking 99 times out of 100, he's not going to make that shot. So Paul did exactly what he was supposed to, lay up close to the OB, then give himself an easy up shot for the par.
Yep.
The funny thing is, if you think about it, if Conrad had a good drive, and missed the trees and landed in the fairway, I think Paul's going to win that tournament easy, because Paul would have still had to go for the birdie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just crazy how it played out. It's like James could not have. Also, if James had on his second shot given himself, threw it a little further, because I think he had what was the throw in, 260?
I have heard 244 or 247. That's the number I've been hearing.
It was pretty. But if he had thrown his second shot closer around the bend to where maybe he gave himself a 150 or something, Paul probably would have went for the birdie at that point too, knowing that 150-foot shot is still a lot. I mean, pretty makeable for somebody with the caliber at the skill set of James, or really anybody on the pro level can.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was. I mean, for me, a lot of people are kind of ripping Paul for laying up right there. To me, the fairway going down is not overly wide, because they narrow it to make it a little tougher for the pros. And we'll talk about what happened in the ladies earlier in the day. And to me, I thought he played it right.
Oh, he definitely played it right. Yeah, because if he goes for birdie, knowing how far back Conrad's got to throw it in from 240 some, 250. Paul exactly played it perfect, and he knew he was going to be the champion again.
Yeah.
And everybody knew Paul was going to win it again, because Conrad hit that tree, and Paul had some world champ luck, as they call it, and barely squeezed in at that. on that fairway. So I mean, it's just incredible how it all played out, and I am super happy. I'm a big Paul and Vic fan. I'm super happy for James Conrad though.
Yep.
He seems like I don't know him. Me and Paul are best friends, but I don't know James. And but anyways, James seems like a good guy from what everybody says on podcasts and stuff. That James is one of the nicest people out there. So good for him.
And he's also a Virginia guy, so we'll just throw that out there. From unfortunately a very bad part of the state, unfortunately, down in the Hokie country. Oh gosh, oh that hurt my soul.
He's probably a Hokie fan.
Me and my friend Jason were talking about that right after it happened. He goes, "He's from Blacksburg. He's probably a Hokie fan." I was like, "No, man, he went to Minnesota. He's a Golden Gopher."
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
that's called a manipulation of the truth.
Oh,
there was no truth there. I don't know what I was manipulating.
A lie? It's not called a lie.
No. It's a joke.
Manipulation of the truth. Okay,
it's a joke. But KJ, he had a good shot at. He was coming back, making some big shots. Then was it on 16? That big downhill. Well, you know what? Let's finish the tournament first. Then we'll go back to talk about a few of the other players.
All right.
Then we got Conrad. He is 247. Paul lays up, and then the shot. One thing that Paul said that I didn't even know was there was a Mando in there that he had to go around the Mando.
Yes. Definitely.
See, yeah. I didn't even realize that. I just thought there was stuff in the way that he had to go around. I didn't know there's an actual mandatory right there. So, and he throws this thing. And my thought going into that shot was it's either going to park or go out of bounds. I did not even put into the equation go in the basket.
There's no way. In the where I was at, I mean, sitting up on the piano in church, practicing a song, and I have it on the music stand, and and I'm watching
the Saints come marching in. Yeah. The Saints come. James Conrad.
I just wanted to see, Paul's celebration. I knew he had won it, and that dude, you could see James lining up a shot. He was like taking his hand, and he was just seeing exactly what kind of like height and angle he needed to put. And he's like a elite putter thrower. Yep. He's one of the best at throwing those turnover putters that just keep gliding right, and he can shape a putter better than anybody. And he was shaping it in the air in his mind, and then he's just put it on the perfect line, and some random like spectator just yells, "Get in the hole!" Because you could just see it lined up directly and then ching right on the right side of the basket. Incredible. Gosh, dude. And I just dropped what I was playing, and I was just like, there were a couple of people around me were like, "What happened?" And I was like, "You wouldn't understand just though what just happened." Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay. I think we're back.
Who you talking to?
I'm talking to you. Because my side kind of went out for a couple seconds.
Okay. I've been talking.
Huh. About what? Christmas?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question. If you're Paul at that point, after James had made that shot, do you go for it or do you lay up?
Go for the birdie from that distance? No,
yeah.
Because there's OB close by.
Yep.
As we know from what happened in the FPO.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta go for the playoff at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. Paul did everything right. Paul kind of got, I don't know if you call it unlucky or just outdone, or James, that wasn't a lucky shot really. James.
No.
I
would not. I've heard some people call it a fluke and call it lucky. And I'm like, I disagree on both. I think as many shots as that man has thrown through the years, he's got, if he had missed it, we get it. But if he makes it, in my opinion, those people that watch a lot of disc golf, they know it's a lot of practice. That's why he made that shot.
Yeah, tremendous amount of control and skill, knowing his discs, knowing reading the wind. Have you heard of much? I didn't realize this. Have you heard people talk much about the elevation and how it changes the flights of discs and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, it changes
I
stability
didn't
up.
even
Yeah,
know. That's crazy to me. Like they were so far above sea level, all their discs flew more stable, and so
yeah.
you're throwing stuff that normally is like a roller disc, and it's actually coming out. You're throwing on a turnover, and it's actually coming out of that turnover and
Mhm.
finishing, which is a for them normally at here down here, where we are, that thing would just keep riding right or even turn into that roller. It's like
I
Katrina Allen, that disc that she threw, the F7
mhm.
on that shot on 18, like that's her roller disc, and she's had it. She said since 2011 or something. So that thing's like super beat in, super flippy,
Mhm.
super understable, and it actually you saw it when it was turning over, and it actually came out, which is unusual for a disc that flippy. So that's crazy. I didn't even
Wow.
know. I
I
didn't
didn't
really
realize
believe.
that where they were was that much over sea level.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess they're in the Rockies, maybe.
I mean, they were in Utah. I don't. I
Is
mean, I
that?
don't. When I think of you, when I think of the Rockies, I think Colorado. But I mean,
Oh,
it's more than one state with the Rockies in it.
yeah, I was wondering if the Rockies was in Utah, but yeah, that's crazy too. I didn't know that until I heard it on this tournament here. So
Mm-hmm. But man, then they go to they get to the playoff. They have to go to 16. And when they went to 16, my first thought was James is he aced it earlier,
yeah,
and I remember when I first saw he aced that hole, and I was like, man, wasn't it just a couple tournaments ago he threw another ace? And I'm just like, this guy can just is like an acing machine.
yeah, he just, man, so much control with that distance in like putter shots, man. So he threw that. So all 5 rounds he threw it, either aced it or parked it, I think, and got birdies on it all 5 rounds. I think Paul did the same thing. I don't remember.
Well, they only played that whole 3 rounds.
So all 3 rounds, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Because they played was it Mulligans, and then
Yeah,
they played
yeah,
the
I knew.
fourth.
Yeah,
But
I had a brain. Yeah.
and a lot of people said this, and I did not think about this at the time. Um, I can't imagine the adrenaline that James had when he's up there on that tee box, having to go first.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
right before he shot, my thought was, whatever James does, Paul is doing the opposite. If James parks it, Paul's going in the water or OB. If James goes in the water or OB, Paul is parking it.
You were thinking that before James threw it.
Yeah, because I
Nice.
thought it's either going to be a ton of pressure for Paul or no pressure at all for Paul, and that
Got
was
you.
my thought process when Paul when they first got there,
Got you.
and
Okay.
sadly, my thought was right.
Yeah, I was thinking a push on 16, um, and I thought it would probably be decided on 17. 17 is so like almost like a throw and pray. Like you have so many trees.
Mm-hmm.
I figured somebody would hit a tree and it would just bank off, into a like no man's land where pretty much the other guy has to like pitch up for par and win the title. But yeah,
So
Paul, like you said, the adrenaline, the pressure, everything. I think Paul just had to juice it, and he said on the Nick and Matt show that with that T pad. Do you know much about the T pads?
yeah, I
Okay.
think they said it was on backwards.
Yeah.
and
And
the grain of the pad was opposite. So they were when they would step, they kind of slide a little bit.
yep. So he felt himself slipping a little bit because
Hmm.
of that, and he thought split second decision right as he sees he's in throwing motion. He thought he had to juice it a little more because he was slipping, and that was just enough to take that raptor he threw and like bounce it down the hill and then into the water.
I mean, he
Man, I feel
he
bad.
threw a good shot though. It
It looked
just
good.
got one of those bad bounces.
Yeah, yeah. I think, like you said, a bad bounce because it could have had a good bounce and
Hmm.
stuck or curled a certain way, and he was close to the basket. Just yeah, bad roll.
Yep.
Man,
And then he has to go 66 feet from the penalty area, which really isn't going to matter because Conrad, he was what, 15 feet,
yeah,
something
he was
like
less than
that.
that.
Yeah, 10,
Yeah,
15,
Paul
something
made
like
it.
that, or really an easy tap in. Paul goes out, just misses it. So yeah, he was going to get a bogey. James comes in, taps it in, and that was it. It's like, wow, what drama,
Yeah,
what excitement. And then, of course, the man everyone was looking for, the guy with no shirt in the USA flag shorts jumping into the water.
I love it. I had no problem with that at all.
I thought that was hilarious. All right, what did you think about when you know I keep going backwards now. When James made that shot,
Mm,
everybody got up, was running around.
love it, love it, love it.
Yeah. And the faces
Awesome.
you see.
Chill. I had chills and the, whatever you call it, butterflies and all that
Mhm.
stuff, man. Just seeing everybody just screaming, yelling, uproar, and like it makes this. It's good for the sport to grow
Yep.
it. Hunter Thomas said a good thing. I agree with how James needed to win this tournament for the sport and for the growth of the sport because if he had made that shot and then lost the tournament to Paul in the playoffs, it just would have been like forgotten and maybe not even on Sports Center or whatever. And just the fact that he made that shot and then pulled out the win just was a sweeter moment, a more impactful
Mhm.
moment, or whatever I'm trying to say. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was gave me chills for sure. That was awesome.
Yeah. It was amazing. Just amazing. I mean, the crowd going nuts, people jumping up. And I saw on one video, and the guy he cracks me up the way he does different sports videos, different big moments, and he starts circling people. This person's mouth is open. This person's mouth is open. This person's mouth is open. You see Calvin Heinberg over there.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah. And he never has expression.
he does not own an expression, and I was like, oh my goodness, that was awesome. So
Yeah,
that was the men's side. I mean, we can talk about KJ where he had that 16. He was he one shot back at that point, I
yeah,
think, and
close.
then he threw a B into the water. He went to the drop zone, throws it, hits the rim, rolls back to the water again, and he was out.
Yeah,
I felt bad for him.
he's another guy I'll pull for a lot. He seems like a cool guy.
Mm-hmm. He
Again, don't know
does
him
good
personally.
commentary on some videos as well.
Yeah, yeah, I like KJ USA.
And then to the women, which we did it backwards. I meant to talk about the women first, then we started talking about the men.
Save the best for
The
last.
ladies. To me, as usual, you had Paige Pierce and Katrina Allen. 1-2 is it's a broken record. You just figure those two
Right.
are just going to win, but they tried to bring Lisa Lisa Fakis into the tournament. She was
Yeah.
one shot back, and then
Yeah.
she got a 7 on a par
16.
three. Oh,
Whole 16 again.
yep. into the water. And then the sad part for her though is in the water, and then she just started missing, going back and forth across the green.
Four putted, man. With
I
which
was like,
she had a few thousand people watching her too, which was
yeah.
sad. Like that much more pressure and like embarrassment. So
Mm-hmm. But I did pick
yeah,
her to finish on the final card. Just
good
throwing
job.
that out there. Which we may or may not mention that later. We may or may not. Uh, the Estonian Kristen Tatar, this was her first tournament in America, I
Since
guess
COVID.
since 2019, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if she played any at all last year.
Couldn't
She
be.
made the final card. She didn't play very well that last round, especially the
Mhm.
first few holes. And after that, she kind of held her own, but ended up +3 or 3 over, excuse me, because I know some people get very offended if you say +3 or -3. So she was 3
Whatever.
over. I'm like, dude, in golf you say +3 or you say 3 over. You know, it's okay. It's okay.
Did you see
But
that shot she had on 18 though? That
I did not.
forehand.
I
Well,
did not.
she was out of contention, so it kind
Yeah.
of got looked over because of Cat. But I mean, she had like a 400-foot sidearm that was absolutely gorgeous. It landed in the circle. It was just incredible.
Nice.
So just another note. She can play.
She can play well. I mean, Kat and Paige, they both finished 3 over for the last round. And Kristen, she finished 3 over for the last round. But the 18th hole, again,
Yeah.
this is where the drama. Well, technically, the drama started on 16.
Right.
Paige goes into the water. Not Lisa. Lisa, I think Lisa also went into the water. I don't know what I was thinking. And Kat also went to the water. So they all had the 66-foot putt from the drop zone. Paige steps up, drains it. Back-to-back days.
Yeah,
So she
that
ends
was
up
an
getting
awesome putt.
she ends up getting par on that back-to-back days after going into the water.
And I think we need to correct the Lisa Fakis shot. I think she actually landed on the island and then missed putt.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. Because I was thinking all 4 of them went out of bounds on that. I might be wrong on that. I might be wrong on that.
Definitely landed. I'm pretty sure it was Lisa. Anyways.
Okay. Because I was thinking that she was putting right after Paige just nailed that shot. You might be right on that. You might be right on that. But
yeah. So yeah, that was a moment right there.
Yeah. Because when Paige made that shot, I was like, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. She was up 2, going to 17.
Right. But yeah, that 17, like I was saying earlier, it's just like if you're off just an inch or two, you're hitting a tree and going who knows where. And that's what happened with Paige.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all hit trees on 17, but Pages just went off into an area that was really tough to recover from.
And okay, now I heard later that Katrina Allen said she thought about going for it on 17, but was scared of it maybe going OB. So she was like, she parked it and thought, Paige sometimes has been having trouble with 18, and Katrina was saying that she thinks she can play it well, so she's like, you know what, I'm gonna leave it up to 18. Pretty smart.
That's
if it
chess
worked.
right there. She's looking several steps ahead.
Yeah,
she must be a chess player.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I didn't know that going in. I'll be honest, I did not know that. So then they get to 18th tee. Paige throws one, inbounds. Cat throws one, it's inbounds. My thought at this point, go ahead and start engraving the trophy and putting Paige on it.
Yep. And then Paige just forgot who she was. I think she turned into me.
I mean, she didn't throw it like OB long.
I don't know. She just had maybe the pressure or something. I would love to know how it feels to be in a tournament like that with thousands of people watching and having to throw a touchy up shot like she had to throw. I'd like to know how that feels. I'll never feel it.
I don't think I want to know how that feels because I have to probably throw up or something.
Oh, I might do that too. Gosh. I mean, all these eyes just on you. Like, so I
Well,
understand.
uh-huh.
I was going to say I understand because she's a human being,
Yeah.
and we just have emotions, and sometimes it just gets the best of us. That's what I account it towards. I just feel like Paige gave in to the pressure, and that's the only thing I can count for. She is, she can make that upshot.
Well, here's the thing. Didn't Kat go first?
Right.
And she parked it. Well, not parked, but she was what, like
Circle's
15
edge.
feet, 20 feet?
It was Circle's edge, about 33 feet.
Yeah, certainly. But that was not only was that circle's edge, but it was also the OB. I mean, think about that for a second.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Her disc was halfway on OB.
Oh.
That's why I was thinking when Paul come up, I was like, he can't really go for it because if he goes a little long, it's going out of bounds.
Oh, I didn't know the OB was the circle.
Yeah, because that's what they said about her. They said it is straddling the line and it's still in bounds. Because when she came up to putt, she got the meter in.
That's right. She did step it in.
Yeah.
That's
and Paige. So Paige's shot now. She's got to think. I have got to get up and down from here to at least tie this. I mean, to win this. She's probably thinking I got to birdie this hole now, and it came out just a tad bit early. Just kind of floated out of bounds.
Maybe. What would you say? You think she made the mistake when she laid up? Did that little putt lay up on the second shot? Maybe she should have went for it.
I mean, again, to me, I can't think in their shoes, but I'm also thinking though. I'm thinking Kat's going to get close. So I'm not going to say I think she's going to birdie it, which she ended up not having to. But I'm also thinking, I think I'm going for it if I'm Paige.
I think so too, but yeah, how can we know what it's like to be in their shoes? But yeah, hindsight's 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Paige just goes just out of bounds. Her next shot is now for bogey, and just barely misses that.
Barely.
And then she taps in for double bogey. At this point, all Kat has to do is 2-putt and win. And she putted. I guess she just laid it up, and then you can see she's crying at this point.
Yeah.
And just tapped it in for the win.
That's her second world championship.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one was in 2011 or 12.
I was thinking 14, might be 11.
It was 11 or 12 because it was 14. Oh wait, you're right.
I mean, my thought was 14.
Years. They said 7 years. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, but she also has, I think, 3 or 4 second and third place finishes. So
yeah. She's been playing a while. She's really good at disc golf.
Yeah. And I've said this: if there was no Paige Pierce, she would be Katrina Allen would be, I think, a good distance first in the world, best in the world.
Yeah, I'm thinking we got a lot more talent coming up, like the Haley Kings and Jessica Weisses and Kat Merches and these younger women that are starting to really emerge.
The twin sisters too, because Valerie keeps playing well.
The Anduhano sisters, yep.
Yeah.
I think as soon as we get people that can consistently like play like Paige and Cat,
Hmm.
man, it's gonna be awesome.
I mean, and hopefully soon we can start getting more of the Europeans over here playing.
Yeah.
Like Kristen, very good player. She's got the talent to win. And then Evelina Salonen, which again I'm probably butchering her name. If I am, I do apologize. But she is a great player in Europe.
Hmm.
And Paige has said if she comes to American plays, she's a top three every week.
Oh, okay.
And that is saying a lot.
Yeah,
So,
that's exciting. Maybe next year then. We have a fourth major next year, so maybe a lot of the Europeans will start being able to come over here for a while.
mhm.
And the have you do you look into or hear anything about the the amount of money that was won?
I did, and I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
The man then Conrad, he got what 18,000.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 16 or 18.
16, 16. I think it's 16. Yeah, yeah. And Katrina, she got 10,000.
Right.
I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan at all. I want them to be even. I want them to be even.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And Kat,
the
she
FPO.
doesn't even have her own disc yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna get there because the Pro Tour, like last year, they just did even payout no matter what. I think PGA, they have this whole board of directors, and everything's got to go through this like act of Congress, to change like the payout like percentages and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're basing it on like how many people are entered into MPO, which is mixed players or open, and then the FPO, how many players are putting money into the FPO
Oh,
part.
is that
So
over
yeah,
there?
it's not even, but it's growing. So we have
Okay.
a lot to look forward to. But
All right.
um,
Was I know there
yeah, you got to go for an act.
there were over 200 in the men's tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and there
Yep.
were man in my mind I'm thinking like 70 something or another in the women's tournament. I'm thinking that's what it
Yeah.
was, or somewhere something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
you know
that's
what?
the
If it's based on entry fees and stuff, okay, I get that. That makes sense then. That makes sense then. But if they were going off some other kinds of revenue, then I'm like, come on, come on.
Yeah, but also like Hunter Thomas on Foundation, they have some kind of like equation or percentage, like like how people get paid, that would be better, and ultimately the first place would get significantly more money, and then you would take out a few people on the cut line for who cashes and stuff.
Yeah,
Few people because they just get like almost I don't even know if they get their entry fee paid back barely if they even make cash point. Maybe they kind of break even there because it's like $200 or $300 just to enter into the tournament. But they have a different layout where James would have won like 24,000,
hmm,
and my cat would have won upwards of like 16 or 17 based on the percentages there. So they're pushing for a different like set of percentages so that the first place it's more incentivized to win. As Simon Lazat mentioned one time, like he doesn't really care too much about winning because his income really isn't based on tournaments.
yep,
It's based on like sponsorships and YouTube and things like that. So
hmm,
they want to incentivize winning to make it more competitive and more compelling for people to come to the sport, grow the sport, and all that good stuff. So hopefully that changes. But once
yeah.
again,
I mean,
it's like an act of Congress to get anything done in the PDGA. So
well, they got a lot of problems. They have a lot of problems.
yeah, it was a mess. Like based on what I've heard
Yeah.
from like a couple podcasts I listened to this week. But yeah,
I
that's
mean, to me, the one thing that really popped up was it just for the last round that they didn't even have a place to practice?
yeah.
Well, it was just the last
That's
round, if I'm not mistaken. and Brody, he rented out a driving range so they could go out and practice before the last round.
You would think that'd be common sense.
Yeah,
And then Brody pretty much throws the PDGA under the bus, saying, "Hey, all it took was $1,000 and I got it done." And then PDGA comes out saying that was a quote unquote jerk move by Brody,
yep,
and then tries to make it look like all he had to do was just come to them first. And it's like, why didn't you just think about doing this in the first place at a
yeah,
world major event for disc golf? You're saying it's Brody's fault that there wasn't the driving range there available? It was
yeah. I mean,
weird.
that to me, I mean, I understand for a small tournament. Let's say, for example, the one that I'm hoping that we can go to, the Battle of Bedford. I
Yeah,
understand you may not have a driving range and stuff. I can get that. But when you're talking about one of the major tournaments, you
yeah,
have to have driving ranges for them. To me, some practice putting greens
yeah.
for the men and women to warm up for it. To me, you have to do that. I mean, to me,
Paul even,
that's a minimum necessity for them.
yeah, and so they try to push the blame off onto Brody, like he should have been the one to come to them. No, you should have been
No,
the one hosting a major and understanding that players need a full field to throw their discs and learn this elevation and all that stuff. It's just common sense. But and even the other course that they played on, Fort something, like
well, the
didn't
Ford
really
was the
have a
final
place.
round. Mulligan was the other one.
So Paul even had to stay at Mulligan to warm up for the other course because it wasn't really anywhere to warm up
Yeah.
over there. So it's very disappointing.
Yeah, and I heard someone say that they told some of the players, "Well, you really can't use the driving range because golfers are using that, but you can just throw it up against the fence if you want." It's like,
Yeah, there was a net
seriously?
available. Yeah, yeah, that's
And one of the guys, it was Nick Carl. He said on one of the
uh-huh.
holes that they like between rounds, they marked one of the areas as OB, and they didn't tell anybody.
Yeah. So in the middle of the yeah, you, so okay, so I've heard this from Ricky Wysocki that
Hmm.
because the previous weekend there was the Utah Open at the same exact courses, and they had issues with some of the bunkers were not very definitive. Some of the grass was growing into the sand, and there was a disc that landed like kind of in between grass and sand, but they didn't know if it was OB or if it was inbounds based on it. Like it was just no really definitive line. And
Yeah,
Ricky actually went to the people, complained about it, and said this needs to be fixed for Worlds. And it didn't get fixed until like the second round of the
yeah.
World. Come on. Like people have been warming up all that week,
Hmm.
not knowing how the OB is going to be. First round was played, wasn't OB, and then all of a sudden you change it.
Yeah.
What in the world? Like that makes no sense at all.
To quote Bryce Harper, that's a clown move, bro.
Bryce Harper. Is he a thing anymore? I have not kept up with
He
baseball.
plays for the Phillies. I mean, he's just like a mediocre player.
That
Like 1 year he has a great year, then the next year he's back to being kind of mediocre.
and drop
Look
off.
for next year for him to be good again.
Oh my goodness.
But I don't know. I mean, I keep hearing them say they might just completely leave the PDGA.
Wow.
I've heard people saying they want to do that and just start something better.
Well, it seems like the board, like the president, was on some podcast and he was just so arrogant.
Yeah,
Like they don't get anything wrong, and they're king. I mean, their arrogance just seems like they feel like they call all the shots and nobody's over them. So much like attitude with that. Just you're not gonna win many people over doing that. So
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of embarrassing right now. So
It,
they,
is this the one that Paige has had issues with?
Paige has a ton of issues with with
Yeah, because
PDGA.
I didn't know if it was them or the PDGA, no, or T. I don't know. I know there's like two different kind of things.
Oh no, you talking about the national tour?
Yeah, I guess the national tour.
That's yeah, that's PDGA.
All right.
But
So I know Paige has had a lot of issues with some with stuff,
it was
and you know what? There's one other thing we got to mention about Paige. Did you hear in round? I think it's in round 3 or 4. I think it's in round 4 where she may have missed a Mando.
she did miss the Mando. This whole
See,
team.
I didn't actually see that.
Yeah,
And she said she did not know. She asked the other players, and they said they didn't see it. And
right.
so she just played it because she didn't know for sure she missed it or not.
Yeah.
So,
So I don't think Paige was in the wrong. I think she actually didn't see it.
yeah.
But pretty crazy. I think the problem could have been the triple Mando was hard to see. I think it was just basically a rope.
I mean, yes, I thought it looked
Top.
like PVC pipe where you can barely see the thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
something
yeah,
like
it
that. It was just like, come on. I mean, to me,
was
you need like but they get those like big cardboard, almost like balloon things out there. So it's
normally,
thick. You're seeing it. You know if you miss it or not.
normally it's something like that. So I think it was a huge thing because I mean that's a stroke that
Yeah,
if her and Kat were on 18 with that stroke down for Paige, I mean that's a different scenario right there.
yeah.
So, but it
But I
ended up
mean,
Paige lost. So,
but my thing
I guess
is, she did ask her the people that was with her in her group, did I miss that? I don't know,
right,
did I? And they said they couldn't tell. I don't know if
yeah.
she can do any more than that.
No, I mean she was. Yeah, I don't think she was in the wrong by
Yeah,
any. So
and
yeah,
I don't think she would intentionally cheat or anything either. I think her and Paul, both 6-time champions. The reason I compare those two because they're both 6-time champions. I think they're both extremely classy players, and they want to win with integrity and honesty. So I don't think that either one of those would, that she would do that on purpose. So
right. Yeah, and she followed up on Instagram, I think,
yeah,
and talked about it. So yeah, yeah, we ain't got to worry about her being a cheater or whatever. It was just another thing where it should have been kind of a, I guess, a better setup or a better
yeah.
visual. So
I mean, you got to have somebody out
pretty
there
crazy.
with a flag.
Yeah, this is the world championship. This is supposed to be like the pinnacle tournament, the most prestigious tournament. Everybody wants that title because that's what you see next to people that have it. You know, five
I may
time
or may
champ.
not have a disc over there that says 5-time world champ, Paige Pierce.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, this is like your brand or whatever, and it just fell short for so many
Yeah.
people, especially the players. So I think that's more important right there. You gotta you gotta come through, and they didn't.
Wait, but I mean, when you have a triple Mando, how do you not have someone standing there with a flag?
Right.
You've got people all over the course with a flag. Why is there not someone right there at the Mando with a flag? That
Yeah,
seems like to me an obvious place to have somebody.
the whole tournament was just disappointing for so many things. So
Yeah,
that's
and the last thing I'll say about that, and then we'll go with different directions, more positive things. But I heard at the fort that's where they played the last round, there were only 2 porta potties,
oh
and I was like, "What?"
for how many thousands of people?
Yeah, and they said it's hot out there. People are drinking tons of water just to stay hydrated, and you've got 2 porta potties. And one of the guys was like, I mean, a guy can go out and find a tree or something, but what about all the ladies, the FPO? I mean, can't expect them to just go like try to squat behind a tree or something. It's
What
like
would you grade?
how dumb is this?
So what grade would you give PGA? Like a F, a D?
Okay, now to be fair, everything I've heard and that we have just said, is all hearsay. But if all that is true, I mean, I would give them like a D.
Yeah.
Not the D, because that's really a high grade.
But dude, I like, they had some good design. I guess they were in charge of like the course design. Um, they had some good things for sure. I like, the whole 18, especially that design was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean, I did love that. I love the stands going all the way down that fairway.
so cool, man.
That was great.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, don't mean to be all negative, but definitely it's good to discuss it, to get it out there, feedback, criticism, but you gotta be willing to hear the criticism and then,
Mm-hmm.
and then work on it because
Yeah.
we're all nobody's perfect. We all got to improve on something. So
Mm-hmm. So what would you give them for a grade?
yeah, I think I agree with you. I can't give them an F because there was a lot of good
Yeah.
that came out of it, and
To be honest, I was thinking somewhere between C minus and D plus.
yeah,
To be fair, even though I did not like when Kat she won the trophy. She's up there and the bell's ringing. They give it to James. They had paper around the bell so it's not ringing. I was like, ring the bell. I thought that was kind of funny.
yeah. But congrats to James. Congrats to Katrina. They earned it, I think. No flukes.
There are no flukes in baseball. Oh, wait, this isn't baseball. Now to the really important stuff. We picked who we thought were going to be on the final card of this event of the Worlds. Todd, you had Paul Macbeth. You had Calvin. It's two. You had Ricky. And you had Big Germ. That's not bad. Derek, unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight. He had Paul. You do your finger thing. You're good at that. He had Eagle. I'll do it for you. Kevin and Simon. He had Simon.
I forgot. Simon did good.
Didn't he finish? Did he finish top 10?
No.
No. That was Eagle that came in the top 10 right toward the end of the round, end of the last round.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then I had Paul. I had Ricky. Oh, okay. Keep that finger down for Ricky. Calvin. And my dark horse pick is your world champion, James Conrad. Okay. So, something I meant to say goes, you're a Christian boy. I'm a Christian boy. Someone said this was biblical. JC beat the beast.
Okay.
I was like, that ain't right.
Disc Golf Jesus. There was a T-shirt I saw. Disc Golf Jesus is my homeboy, and there was a picture of James on it on the shirt.
Man, I don't think you should get that.
No.
The ladies' side, Derek had Owen Scoggins. Is that right, Scoggins? Sounds right.
Yep.
Peace, King, and Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do so good.
Put Cat in there.
Huh?
They didn't put Cat.
No. I mean, you got to put those two. You had Cat, Weiss, King, and Pierce. So you had two. I had Paige, Cat, Tatar, and my dark horse was Facus. 7 out of 8. Too bad I didn't have all those for my grip 6.
Oh, really?
I didn't.
Oh, man.
I did have Paige and Cat, but I didn't go 3 on each side. But all in all, do they even have a tournament this week?
It's not like a Elite Series tournament, but yeah, they have something.
Oh, you know what? I did look it up because I saw everybody's favorite Nico is going to be in it.
Nico, he's a cool dude. he's like super passionate about disc golf, and
I will
he
say
was
this. I watched a video of his blow-ups.
yeah
It hit a little too close to home for me.
yeah
I was like, I have punched my bag before. I have kicked my bag before. I have used words I am not proud of before. And I was like, you know what? I can't do that anymore. Because when you see someone else do it, you're just like, that's just embarrassing.
yeah.
And I was like, wow, nope. Last few times I've played, I kind of think of it this way: not if, but when I hit a tree, my thought is, this is something I could learn from. Where, what angles can I go from the, off the fairway and stuff. So I'm trying to think of it as more positive than negative when I hit a tree and it goes somewhere. I mean, after
Right.
the fourth or fifth one on the same hole, it gets a little different.
Yeah.
But
When
the
I get
first
mad,
one,
I just get super quiet, and then I play worse and worse and worse
mhm.
as the round goes on.
Yeah, I have definitely used some words I am not very proud of, and so I've gotten better about that. The last couple of times I've played, I've gotten a lot better about that. So it's actually been a good thing for me. I mean, today I played um, Peaks View. For those who don't know, extremely short course, beginner course. I had a 2 over par for the day. For me, that ties my best. So even though I had a couple of shots that I would have blown up at before, just let it go and just say, you know what, this is a learning opportunity. I did good.
Pretty cool.
So, how has your disc golf been going lately?
Yeah, it's great. I haven't had a bogey in like, I haven't
Wow,
had any bogeys in like maybe since we played in Peaksview Park. Me, you, and Fabi and David.
wow,
Yeah, zero bogeys.
you, my friend, are in fuego.
I'm on fire. That's right. Yeah.
But I can't wait to. So, you're getting married next week, and
Right.
then what, honeymoon after that?
Honeymoon. Yep, up in the Shenandoah National Park area.
Taking the disc with you. Go find
I
your
am going to take
course.
a few discs. Bobby said that if we find something, close by, she wouldn't mind playing around or something. So,
Wait, then why isn't she coming out and playing now? I mean, y'all don't have anything going on.
oh yeah. I don't know what's going.
Yeah.
What are we thinking? Now her parents came in
Oh, that's
past
awesome.
Fridays. Yeah, they're all here in the house, and yeah, they've been doing all kinds of crazy shopping, and then we're trying to plan for the wedding and order stuff. And I got my outfit already. She's got to find shoes. So many things. Never ends. I'll be happy when July 11th is here.
And I will say this: I've already told you, this is pretty much what I'm wearing.
All right.
I'm sorry, with the whole year of COVID not being able to do anything, hip replacement before
I
that,
don't care.
40 extra pounds. There you go. This is
I
what
told Fabi, she's like, okay, I don't care.
he is funny guy. All right, man. You got anything else you want to talk about this week with the disc golf?
Man, I don't think so. I did some homework past couple of days just to have enough to talk about today. So I've maxed out, I think.
Yeah, it was a great week. So um, next week, I know you have nothing planned. So well, you know what? Maybe we can have Derek and Jason fill in for your spot for a week. Maybe we can do
All
that.
right. All right. And after I
But
get
man,
back, we'll do some of those live rounds you talked about.
I do want to do that. Do some video of us actually playing, and then
Yeah.
people can say y'all are not as good as Hunter and Trevor.
Yeah.
So you're
Let's
right,
do
we're not. But thanks. But thanks again for being here, man. Everyone who showed up tonight, thank you guys so much. That's all we got. You guys have an incredible day.